Welcome to another video. In this video we are going to solve permutation in string problem from the Leetcode. In this problem they will give two strings s1 and s2. We need to return true if s2 contains a permutation of s1 or false otherwise. What they mean is they have consider this first example where the s1 is ab and s2 is eid ba oo. So we need to check whether any of the substring of s2 is a permutation of s1. So we need to consider for a permutation of s1 means if we rearrange the characters of letters, then we will get permutation of s1. ab is also a permutation of s1. ba is also a permutation of s1 in the first example. So we need to check whether substring of length s1 in s2 contains this permutation. If we start considering substrings of s2, that is ei is not a permutation of ab. And if we consider next substring of length s1, that is 2, that is id is also not a substring of permutation of ab. And db is also not a permutation of ab. But if you consider this substring ba is a permutation of ab, so we will return true. If any of the substring in the s2 which is of length s1 consists a permutation of s1, then we need to return true. How we are going to solve this problem is we will keep a window of length s1 and we are going to check whether character count exceeds the character count of s1. So we are going to do this problem by following that method. Let us start writing code for this solution. Initially we are going to create a window which will contain the character count of s1. So s1 window will be initially empty, and then for c in s1 what we are going to do is we are going to add this character count to s1 window. So s1 window of c will be equal to s1 window dot get of c. This method will return 0 if c is not present in the s1 window. Otherwise it will return the current count. We are going to increment the count. If c is already not present in the s1 window, then this will return 0. s1 window of c will become 1. So we are going to initialize it to 1 if it is not present already. So now we have a s1 window. We can store the s1 length as well. So s1 length will be equal to len of s1. And after this what we are going to do is we are going to declare two pointers, left and right. Initially both will be pointing to 0. Left will be 0 and right will also be 0. And then we will maintain a current window initially which will be empty. Current window, and then we will start going through the characters of s2. While right is less than len of s2, we can store the length of s2 as well. s2 length will be equal to len of s2. So as long as our right is pointing to some valid position in s2, that is s2 length, then we will add this character to our current window. So current window of s2 of right will be equal to current window dot get. If s2 of right is already present in the current window, it will return that count. Otherwise it will return 0. And then we are going to increment it by 1. So now we have added a character to our current window. We need to check whether our window length, that is right minus left plus 1, if it exceeds the S1 length. If it exceeds the S1 length, then that window is not valid, because we are going to consider substrings of length of len of S1. Here we were checking substrings of length 2 because length of the S1 was 2. So what we are going to do is we are going to remove character from the window. So current window of S2 of left, we are going to decrement the count. We will decrement the count and we will increment the left, since we have already removed character from the left. And after that, our window may have the correct length, right minus left plus 1. If it matches with the S1 length, then we need to check whether that window has permutation of S1. So we are going to check all the character count. For scene, since we have already put the character count of S1 in S1 window, we are going to make use of that S1 window dot keys. Then we will check. Initially we will declare a boolean named as sub. We are going to initialize it to true, and then we will check if current window dot get C is less than the S1 window of C. What we are doing here is we are going to check the character count of the key which are present in S1 string. If it is less than C, then we know that this window does not have that permutation. So we are going to set as sub to false, and we are going to break. So if this condition does not become true, then it will be still true even after breaking. So that time we should return true. Otherwise we will keep on continue with the incrementing right pointer. So I hope you understood the solution. Initially we are putting all the character count in the S1 window, and then we are considering window of length S1, and we are going to check the character count in that window. If every character has that count, then we are going to return true. Otherwise we will keep on adding characters to window, and if our window length increases, if window length is more than the length of S1, we are going to remove characters from the left. Let us submit the solution and check whether it passes the initial test cases. Yes, as you can see here, the solution is passing the initial test cases. Let us check what is the time complexity. For time complexity, we will go through the S1 once and S2 once, and in between there is a for loop. So this for loop, we are going to go through this S1 window dot keys. Since S1 and S2 have only characters from the English letters, lowercase English letters, so our window will have maximum 26 keys. So this will be of 26. So this whole while loop may at most become, sometimes we will go through 26 times for a character. If we neglect that thing, our time complexity will become m plus n, where m is the length of the S1 and n is the length of S2. For space complexity, we are using S1 window and S2 window variables dictionaries for storing the character count. Since characters vary from A to Z, our keys will be of constant size. So our space complexity will not increase with the size of S1 and S2. So we have a constant space complexity. Let us submit this solution and check whether it passes all the test cases. Yes, as you can see here, the solution is passing all the test cases. If you are interested in learning more about other data structures and algorithms, you can check out other videos from my channel. Thanks for watching this video.